Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are live right now on an international broadcast, broadcasting to all four corners of the world. My name is Darren Little, also known online as the MLM Superhero. And guys, what I'm going to do today is I'm literally going to open the vault, guys. I'm going to talk about some proven techniques and strategies that I've personally used to generate as much as almost $4 million in a single year. And I'm going to actually give you the exact steps that I take in order to create whatever I want in my reality, guys, whatever I want. Okay, so what I'm going to put out to you here today is a couple things. Number one is it would probably be a good idea to post this link onto your wall, because this is going to be a lot of value here tonight. I want for you to really understand the power of the mind, what we have the ability to be able to do as human beings, and what is it that actually stops this process from taking place. Why is it that some people can start a business from nothing, right, and you know, within 30 to 90 days create a $10,000 monthly residual income, and then other people are literally completely paralyzed and they can't make any money at all. They can't recruit anybody. They feel powerless. What's the difference? What is the distinction? So tonight on this broadcast, I'm going to be actually breaking this down step by step to talk to you a little bit about the mindset that you have to have. This is what we're going to be talking about tonight, is quantum physics. So the first thing that you need to understand to really grasp this information, guys, is that, and I encourage my students that go through my training to actually do some research on this themselves. So it starts off with something called the wave particle theory, okay? Now, the wave particle theory, guys, is the actual science behind wealth creation. For you to understand that it's your thoughts, it's your words, and it's your emotions that are creating your reality. Okay, now it's very important that if you want to create whatever you want, wouldn't it make sense, guys, to only be thinking about what you want, to only be speaking about what you want, and to only feel the feeling like it's already happened in your body if you want to create what you want? I mean, that would make sense, wouldn't it? If you want to be able to get what you want, you have to be in the broadcast frequency of what it is that you want. So what I tell my students is this: success is a radio broadcast frequency. You can tune into it at any point in time, like that, like a flash of light. You can be tuned into success. So you've got to start to ask yourself, number one, what are you thinking about? Number two, what are you speaking about and writing about? Does it support everything that you want in the reality? All the things of your preferred state? Are all your words, all your thoughts, all your emotions completely connected to what it is that you want to achieve? Okay? Now, let's get back to the wave particle theory here, guys. Is that when you take things and you break them down like that. Okay, we're gonna have to, somebody just came on the line here. We're gonna have to mute you out here. I don't know, somebody's got feedback coming through here. Okay. So, guys, if you break things down into a microscopic level, you've got, you know, like this cup, right, and this phone. Everything is on a smaller and smaller level. It's made up of atoms and molecules. But the scientists wanted to find out, well, what are the atoms and the molecules made up of? What's the whole universe made up of? And as they got down smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, they got down as far as what are called the electrons. Now, thing, guys, because they wanted to find out, well, what are the electrons made up of? Now, one group of scientists believed that those electrons are made up of waves of energy, and those waves of energy come together and they form those electrons that come together and they form those atoms and the molecules, and then we have stuff like this, right? The table, whatever. Now, here's the interesting thing, guys. Another group of scientists believed that all of those electrons are made up of particles of matter, okay? So now they go into a laboratory, and this is laboratory scientific research, guys. It's very important that you get the fact that this isn't some concept or some idea that maybe this is how it works. Maybe, you know, there is a rumor that this is how it works. This is really how it works, guys. So when they conducted the research, what they found was this. The scientists that believed that those electrons are made up of waves of energy, all of the results came back. 100% conclusive evidence that the universe is made up of waves. 100%, guys. It wasn't skewed. It wasn't 50-50. It wasn't 60-40. It wasn't 70-30. It wasn't 90-10. 100% conclusive evidence. The universe is made up of waves of energy. Now, on another area of the world, in a different laboratory, another group of scientists believed that the universe is made up of particles of matter that come together, that form the electrons, that come together, that form the atoms and the molecules, that come together, that form stuff like this. Okay? Guess what magically happened? The data came back, 100% conclusive evidence that the universe is made up of particles. It wasn't skewed. It was not skewed, guys. It wasn't 60-40. It wasn't 50-50. It wasn't 70-30. It wasn't 90-10. It was 100% conclusive evidence. The universe is made up of particles. So you've got two different laboratories, guys. This laboratory says that the universe is made up of waves of energy. This laboratory says that the universe is made up of particles of matter. Now, what was the difference? What was the difference? The only difference was what the scientists believed to be true. Now, here's the interesting thing about the electrons. The electrons are in a state of superposition. They're waiting for instructions, guys. They are waiting for instructions. What are they going to be? Now, in The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles, and I would encourage you, if you have not read that book, you need to read that book, guys, because it will totally change your perspective of really about wealth creation. So here's what I'm going to tell you, is that whatever it is that you want, okay, you have to understand this. There's two worlds that exist simultaneously. On one side, you've got everything you want, and on the other side, you've got everything that you don't want. Two worlds, okay? No different than the electrons being particles over here and waves over here, okay? Now, what's going to determine what those electrons are going to become? Your thoughts, your words, your emotions. Now, this is the secret. This is how the secret works. Now, keep in mind, once again, it works for everything you want, and it works for everything that you don't want. This is the secret. Now, once you can tap into this, right, this is why multiple times per day I say, how do I feel? How do I feel? Because that's the broadcast, guys, that's going out electrons. Okay, so here is the secret. It's thought, directed emotion that generates feeling. That's the secret. That's the equation for manifestation. Thought, directed emotion that generates feeling. Okay? Now, what I will tell you about whatever it is that you want to create. So when I set out on this particular journey, now keep in mind, this works for anything that you want. Okay? And I'm going to tell you a couple of real life stories of my personal life that have happened where I've applied these strategies and even done them where I'm going to proclaim them online that, guys, guess what? This is what I'm going to do. Everybody watch it happen, right? And I've boom, 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 all the way through and completed whatever the set forth, right? So it's not like I'm, gambling. Hey, maybe this is going to work, guys. This is the science of getting rich, okay? So the first thing that you have to do when you're creating whatever it is that you want, you literally have to draw a line in the sand and make a decision that this is the way that it is, right? Like drawing a line in the sand and accepting it as truth. This is how the reality is, and there's no other possibilities. Now, all of your thoughts that you think about have to be specifically focused on whatever that is. What is your intention for what you want the reality to be? What is your intention? So you've got to draw a line in the sand. You make the decision right now. This is it. This is how the reality is, and that's the story. Okay, number one. Number two, you have to now set your intention. Now, there's a difference between a goal, which is something kind of floating out there, and intention that's emotional. Now, an intention has a physical thing behind it, guys. Now, when I'm talking about the secret, that thought-directed emotion that generates feeling, there's a whole body movement behind it, okay? So once I draw the line in the sand, I set my intention of what is it that I'm going to achieve. Guess what has to happen now, guys? Complete vulnerability. Complete vulnerability, guys. Now, I will tell you this. You literally have to go into what I call being a naked soul. And you have to try like you're walking forward in complete blind faith. There is no other way. You have to know that the steps will appear underneath your feet as an entrepreneur making this progression. Laser focused. You're walking forward in complete blind faith. This is going to happen. There's no other way. There's no other possibilities. I'm going to make this happen. Because this is how it works, guys. This is how you manifest. This is how you create whatever reality that you want. So what I would put out to you is that you are going to get tested on your path, that you have the faith in this process. You will get tested. You will face your fears. You will create self-doubt within your self-talk, right? So you have to be very aware of what's going on in here, what's coming out of here, and what's coming out of here, right? Very aware. So what I do is I make it a point to broadcast it online. Complete vulnerability, guys. Complete vulnerability. So when I started this business with $154, I proclaim that within 30 days I will create a $10,000 monthly residual income. End of story. That's the way it is. I accept that as truth. I surrender to that. Now, I have to be simultaneously aware of what my thoughts are. What are my words? What are my emotions? So when I'm thinking about the reality, I'm only thinking about what I want. Now, this is where I get into what if? Because what if I really pull it off? How would that feel? Oh, man, that's what I want to tap into. What's that feeling? What does it feel like, right? What does that feel like? I want to lasso that future reality into my body right now. Okay, so I want to start to ask myself these questions. What if everybody that I talk to wants to join my business? That'd feel amazing. What would that feel like? That'd feel awesome. I want to tap into that feeling. What if my phone is ringing off the hook with incoming phone calls? That would be amazing. I proclaim that. I bring that in. What if every time I log on to Facebook, it's lit up like a Christmas tree with people that want to join my business? What if I start to put 50, 75, 100 people on my broadcasts, my hangouts, my conference calls? What if I can teach other people how to do the exact same? What if? What if everybody got this concept? What if? What if it was easy? What if it was effortless? What if abundance was flowing to me in avalanches of abundance? What if? That's the feeling that's the questions that I start asking myself in my mind. What if? What if? And it's only about things I want, guys. Now trust me when I tell you this, guys. You're going to go through an inner battle. Now, what's the inner battle caused from? It's caused from the human condition, guys. You got 4 things that you have to get over. You've got to master. Number 1 is deservability. Do you feel that you deserve the abundance flow? Yes or no? Do you feel that abundance is your birthright? Do you feel deserving of that abundance? Do you feel worthy or do you feel guilty? Because you will get tested on whether or not you feel worthy or not. That's where some of the mirror work comes in. Daily mirror work. You know, I love you, whatever your name is, just the way you are. I accept myself unconditionally, even though part of me feels I don't deserve to be successful. 10 times, like push-ups, guys. Daily, 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 daily. Right? So you got deservability, you got worthiness, you've got self-love. Do you really love yourself? Self-love and boundaries. Right? Are you prepared to raise your standards, and do you feel worthy of your greatness, guys? Do you feel worthy of your greatness? So that's all of the stuff that you're going to be faced with. That's all personal development. But that's mastering your thoughts, mastering your words, mastering your emotions. Now, I can tell you that if I stop talking right now, guess what happens? You will start talking to yourself. Now, what is that self-talk? Is it lifting you up like this to be a millionaire? Or is it suppressing you and pushing you down to feel guilty, feel unworthy, feel, what is your self-talk that repeats over and over in your mind about your reality? What are you saying to yourself? Man, it probably won't work. I'll bet this person's going to say no. Man, it worked yesterday, but I bet it probably won't work again today, right? That's called the human condition, guys. And you have to be aware of this. This is an ongoing process, guys. It's an ongoing process. It's not like, you wave a magic wand and magically, all of a sudden, you're cured from the human condition, because you're not. It will literally haunt you. It's always going to be personal development. It's always going to be feeding your mind with positivity, because if you don't continue feeding your mind, the negativity will take back over. That's why I tell my students, cut off your television. Don't be listening to the news. Don't be reading the newspaper. Don't feed yourself with all of that negative energy of tornadoes and hurricanes and explosions and this guy died and that person death and death and chaos and destruction and doom and gloom. Cut that out of your reality. Start tapping into personal development. Feed your mind with the fact that you are the source. The source comes from here, here, and here. That's the source, right? So you have to believe, right? So when I started this business with $154, I believe, already in my body, guys, in my body, I believe this to be true, that 30 days from today, I'm going to create a $10,000 monthly residual income. End of story. That's the truth. That's the way that it is, period. Okay, so I have to get my body in tune with the broadcast. What is the broadcast that I'm sending out to the electrons, right? Because it's coming from you guys, just so you know this. The broadcast is coming from you, nobody else. It's not the world doing the stuff to you. The world is not creating the blockers. The world is not having everybody say, I don't have any money. Those are called reflectors, to get you to look at what's going on in here, what's coming out of here, and what's being broadcast from here. You will come up with what are called reflectors that are coming back in your face so that you will look at what's going on internally within your being. That's the thing to understand about this. And it's very easy to monitor. All you got to do is look at your results. Are you getting pushback? Is everybody saying, I'm not interested, I'm not interested, I'm not interested, I got no money, I got no time, I got no contacts? Because if that's what's happening in your reality, guys, you're in here and it's not good. Your broadcast, your thoughts are not good. You don't feel worthy of abundance. You don't feel worthy of your greatness. You don't feel abundance is your birthright, and you're not surrendered to accept that it's going to just happen naturally. It will happen. If you can get this, if you can get what I'm talking about right here, you can achieve anything in your life, okay? So what was my first situation with this particular process? I was working with Dr. Lee Poulos as Vice President of Marketing for Lifelong Communications, which was a personal development company. And he pulled me into his office one day and he said, Darren, tell me what kind of car that you want to be able to manifest. What kind of car do you want? I said, I want to get a brand new Porsche Carrera. Guys, I had a 1989 Pontiac Firefly that wasn't even my car. I was borrowing the car. Okay, now keep this in mind. I'm driving a 1989 Pontiac Firefly. The car is not even mine, guys. Okay, I don't even have a car, right? And I'm focusing on getting this 996 Porsche Carrera. So he teaches me this principle of how exactly this process works, right? But he says to me, Darren, are you prepared to do what most people won't do? And I said, yeah, I'll do whatever it takes. You sure? 100%. So if I give you a specific formula, you will do this formula, right? Absolutely I will, okay? Because he says not very many people will. He said the first thing that you've got to do is you've got to go to the dealership and you've got to ask who the sales manager is. You've got to sit down with them in their office and they're your ego, guys, just so you know, to be able to pull this off. Because your ego is not going to want to admit that you don't have the money or that you're not in a position to buy the car, right? And you have to be vulnerable to ask the sales manager for their help, right? Because if they don't give you the help, you could, in essence, lose your job. Okay, so he said you're going to have to go in, you're going to have to sit down with the sales manager, and you're going to have to say, listen, I really need your help. And the sales manager is going to say, well, what can I do for you? You know, right now I'm working as Vice President of Marketing for this company, and one of my assignments is that I have to come to this dealership once a week. And I have to go through what's called a visualization process and have a relationship with this car in the showroom. And I really need your help. I don't need a salesman. I don't need any interaction with anybody in here. But if you see me coming in, I'd really appreciate if you could just open the car door from a distance. And I will only be about 5 minutes here in the dealership. And I'll be very quiet. I won't, you know, create any hassles. I won't waste your time here with your people. But I really need your help. Can I get your help? Right? Because if I don't do this, you know, I have to document it, and if I don't do this, I could lose my job. You know, I'm hoping that I can get your support here, right? Of course they're going to say that they will help you, okay? So he said, I want you, Darren, to open up all of your senses to the car. That includes the sound that your shoes make as you're walking to the car. When you get to the door, don't just pull the door open. Pull it very, very slowly, and it's going to release on your hand, and it's going to send a ripple all the way through your hand. So when you pull that door, pull it very, very slowly, and it's going to go pop, and it's going to send a ripple all the way through your hand. You might even feel it all the way up your arm, okay? When the door opens, don't open it fast, open it slow so you get this woof of leather smell that comes into your being like it's taking over your body. Now, when you get into the car, don't just shut the door. Be very, very aware of how much oxygen hits you in the side of the face, guys. The oxygen is going to go right in the side of the face. Now, a lot of people aren't even aware of this until I point it out, and then they go sit in a Mercedes or a Porsche or a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, and they shut the door, and they get this whack in the face with the oxygen. You have to be very aware of how much weight hits you in the side of the face. Now, when you're in that vehicle, you've got to become the car. Melt into the car. Morph into the car. Become the car. Focus on your breathing. You're going to close your eyes. You're going to put your hands on the steering wheel. You're going to put your hands on the shifter or just the steering wheel if it's an electronic function. And you're going to have a conversation with the car. And you're going to tell the car that you're really happy that you're here to spend some time with the car, and that you're really looking forward to the car showing up in your driveway, and that you appreciate the time that you've spent with the car, and that you look forward to seeing the car next week, and you're going to thank the car for the time that you've spent, and you're going to now leave in a total sense of gratitude, accepting the fact that you're going to be driving that car. Period. End of story. Line in the sand. Accept it as truth. That's your car. Period. That's your car. Now, here's what I will tell you. There's very few people that will do these tasks, guys. Very few people will do this consistently every week. I was one of the guys that was prepared to do it. So I went every single week, guys, in my 1989 Pontiac Firefly that wasn't even mine. But I can guarantee you this. When I rolled into that dealership, I looked sharp, guys. I looked sharp. I didn't have the most expensive stuff on, but I'll tell you what, I color coordinated my stuff so that if somebody looked over, they would say, that guy looks sharp, right? That guy looks sharp. I might have tan pants on and a black suit jacket with gold buttons, a crisp white shirt, and a cool colored tie, and shiny shoes, right? Whatever my contrast was, I looked sharp. And my shoes, I made sure they were dress shoes, and they made a clicking sound as I walked across the tile or the marble floor, right? And it was very distinct. Now, there's not very many people, guys, that would do this every week. I was one of those guys. Exactly 11 months. 11 months to go from that 1989 Pontiac Firefly to that brand new Porsche Carrera. Now, here's what I didn't know was going to happen. Here's what I didn't know was going to happen. Because what happens is if you can surrender the cells in your body to wealth, surrender to the abundance flow, surrender that you feel worthy, that you're deserving, that abundance is your birthright. There's not enough money in the world that can pay you for your worth. There's nothing that mankind has created that you don't deserve to have. You have to believe this to be true, guys. Now, I was one of the guys that was prepared to do that. What I didn't realize that was going to come with the car was $1 million and a mansion. I had no idea how this whole process worked, guys. I didn't know. I was just a little following directions, following instructions from my mentor. I wasn't prepared to, oh, well, thanks a lot, Dr. Poulos. That's a really good concept, but I think I'm going to go figure out another way. Right? Thanks for the idea, though, right? So what else did I do? Every day, guys, every single day, I listened to Dr. Poulos' Deep Trance Identification. Now, if you go to Dr. Poulos, PULOS.com/products/CDs, he had the best $20 you ever spend your whole life. Best 20 that you can take that to the bank. Best $20 you will ever spend your whole life. Every single day, I listen to Dr. Poulos' Deep Trance Identification. Every single day, I listen to that Deep Trance Identification. Now, I will tell you this. And every single day, guys, I did that mirror. I accept myself unconditionally, even though part of me feels I don't deserve to be successful. I love you, Darren, just the way you are. I love you, Darren, just the way you are. I accept myself unconditionally. Unconditionally, guys. Listen to the words. I accept myself unconditionally, even though part of me feels that I don't deserve to be successful. Now, how many people would actually do this? Not very many. Would you do it? If you knew that you could have all your dreams come true, all your dreams come true, if you realized that the source of your reality, guys, is you. It's not the world doing stuff to you. It's not the world, you know, I lost my job. Like most people do. This person ripped me off. That's all victimhood. That's all level 1 in the game. Okay? There's a purpose for that. There's a purpose for level 1, right? And but keep in mind, guys, just so you know, that's all you doing that to you all the way through. It's not the world doing it to you. It's all you doing it to yourself so you can build up your Pandora's box, get those emotions. They're starting to bubble up. You know what I'm talking about if you're going through it. If you're going through the calling and you're getting to the point where you're getting to the awakening, where you're ready to get to level 2, you know what I'm talking about. Those emotions. As you start talking about some of these tragedies and terrible things that have happened, you can hear it in your voice. I can always tell when somebody's ready to go to the next level. When they're at the end of level 1, you can hear it in their voice. Their voice starts to quiver. You know, if that's you, hallelujah, you're ready to get to level 2 of the game, right? And that's owning your power, guys. Surrendering your ego. Realizing that all that stuff, all that shit that was done in your life was all you. Doing that to you so that you could morph and mold and sculpt and morph and mold and sculpt and finally step into your leader. Step into your power. Realize that abundance is your birthright. Realize there's not enough money in the world that can pay you for your worth. Realize that it's you that's creating the reality. Your thoughts, your words, your emotions, you are doing it every single day. You are the one that is the creator of the reality. So why don't you believe that you're worth it? Now you've got to start to look at your timeline. Now you've got to start to look at forgiveness. Forgiving yourself, forgiving all those people, right? Because if you don't do that, you will be stuck here in level 1 and you will not be able to advance to the next level of the game, guys. And here's what I will tell you. Break up the Kleenex, baby, because so what? So what? Most people are afraid to let that Pandora's box pop because they don't know what comes next. How deep does that rabbit hole go? They don't know. Here's what I will tell you. If you are prepared to face your fears, if you are prepared to surrender your ego and trust this process, guys, and take that journey, if you're prepared to free fall, like you're free falling inwards into infinity, and surrender it all, surrender that ego, put it all behind you, realize it was all you that did it to yourself. If you can do this, guys, I'm telling you, the next level of the game is amazing. It's amazing what you can do. It's amazing what you can manifest and create. Literally at will that you can manifest and create. But you have to accept it as truth, that it's you that's creating your reality. Your words, your emotions, your broadcast, your radio frequency. Success is a radio broadcast frequency. Success is a radio broadcast frequency. So what broadcast are you putting out? What are you proclaiming your reality to be? What are you stating into that reality to be truth? Or do you just not feel worthy of it? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is for you, of what your blocker is. But for most people, guys, I'll tell you what it is. Number one, they're afraid of their power. Because everything that I'm talking about, you know that I'm talking about the truth. Especially if you're going through some of these things. Like if you could be in your spiral, maybe the world, the world ripped you off, or, I don't know, maybe there was somebody here broke into your bank account, or your partner ripped everything off, or you lost your job, or you got a divorce, and the whole spiral. That's the spiral, guys. And there's a purpose for it. The purpose is to get you to surrender. Surrender your ego and accept the fact that you're creating the spiral, just so you know. If you don't know that, let me tell you, that's all you. That's all you doing that to yourself to finally get to your surrender, that you will let your Pandora's box blow, you'll surrender your ego, and you will advance to level 2. Now, a lot of people never get out of level 1. They're stuck they die in level 1. Now, here's what I will tell you about that. When you're in that spiral, you are broadcasting out wounded puppy to the electrons. And I'll tell you what you will get is more shit. When you're broadcasting out wounded puppy to the electrons, you will get more tragedy, slips, falls, broken limbs, car accidents, head-on collisions, some health thing that'll happen, whatever. It's all to get you to look at this, to look at this, to look at this. Do you feel worthy? Do you feel worthy of your greatness? Do you feel deserving of your abundance? Are you on your path of your purpose in life? And what is your path? Because it's not here just to take up oxygen, guys. You have to have a much bigger purpose than just you. It can't just be about you. It can't just be about your family. What's your global purpose? Forget about, I say to people, tell me what your real passion is. What do you really want? And if somebody, I want to be financially free. Whoop-de-doo. You really think that that's your purpose here on the planet, is just to be financially free? Are you for real? Why are you here? That's what you got to get tapped into. What's your world cause that you're behind, guys? Because I can tell if your goal is to be financially free, right, you're never going to get to 10, 20, 50, 100 million, 200, a billion. You will never get there. It will never happen. Forget about it. You will never get that unless your purpose here on this planet is larger than life. It has to be so large that people literally laugh in your face when they hear about your purpose. What is your talent? Everybody has God-given talents, guys. Everybody does. What's your talent? What's your real core driving force, and how is that going to be used for some global cause here to affect world change? What is it? That's your mission here. That's really what you've got to find out. Now, once you learn all of these principles that I teach and train, your whole horizon will completely expand, because things that used to seem impossible now seem very possible. So what do I do to constantly up my vibration, up my frequency, right? What do I do? What are some of the things that I do? Yesterday I went to the Lamborghini dealership to look at cars that are as much as $1.9 million. Now, why do I do that? A lot of people would go, you could never do that. Why do I go look at a Pagani Huayra that's $2.25 million? Why would I drive 3 hours just to see that car, just to stand beside that car, just to touch that car, to tap into the vibration of that car? Why would I go to San Diego and be there for a convention and get a hold of a realtor and look at 15 different properties that are $2.5 million and higher? Why would I do that? Now, a lot of people will go away on a seminar. They will never do that. Everybody could do that. Everybody could call a realtor. Everybody could go through those properties. Anybody could go to a Lamborghini dealership. Why don't they? Why don't they do that? Because they don't feel worthy. They don't feel worthy of their greatness. They don't feel worthy of abundance. They're actually broadcasting blockers into their life. They're broadcasting all of the doors to be shut. Oh, it'll probably never work. Now, when I first started this business with $154, guys, here's what I will tell you. This is true. I had 25 to 75 connections every single day. Now, it started off at 25, right? But some of those people may have not answered me, or they didn't answer my calls. But the next time I'm going to do 25, but the 25 over here, maybe 10 of them compounded over. Now I got 35 on day 2, right? So if I have that type of, 25 is my baseline. 25 is my baseline of how many contacts I'm going to have in any given day. Now, if you look at my exponential growth curve like this, that took off, do you know that my first week I only made 120 bucks? My second week I only made 120 bucks. Now, most people that were on that type of path, unless they understand these principles, unless they understand breaking inertia, unless they understand massive forward momentum in order to, boom, clear that momentum and clear into takeoff, they would have given up. Oh, it doesn't work. Oh, I'd never put in all this time for $240. Oh, right? I don't do that. So what do? I accept it as truth that whatever, I already drew a line in the sand, I already accepted that as being the reality. There is no possible other way. That's how the reality is going to be. End of story. That's it. I accept that as truth. I draw a line in the sand. But on that way, guys, I got to be very aware of what's going on in here. 3 times per day, I'm doing proclamation statements, guys. 3 times per day. On coaching calls, so that not only am I doing it, not only am I talking about the wave particle theory 3 times a day, so that I can explain it to other people. Hey guys, guess what? There's 2 worlds that exist simultaneously. Everything you want's over here, everything you don't want's over here. Whichever one you focus on, that's one you're going to get. Here's how the process works. Thought, directed emotion, generates feeling. This is the difference between an affirmation and a proclamation. An affirmation's positive. I'm driving an Aston Martin. That's an affirmation. A proclamation is emotional. I'm driving an Aston Martin. Big difference. Now, I'm going to do that when I'm in front of my vision board, and I'm going to proclaim that into the reality 3 times per day. Now, when I talk about success being a radio broadcast frequency, that's what I'm talking about, guys. It's a very, very high vibration. So what ends up happening? As you start doing this process, 25 connections a day, proclamation 3 times per day, understanding that you're creating the reality, it's coming out of you. If you're coming up with blockers, guys, that's your own personal issues here. That's your issues of deservability, worthiness, self-love, and boundaries. That's all you. It's all on you. It's not the world doing it to you. It's not the world creating these blockers. Oh. It's not you. It's not the world doing it to you. It's you doing it to you. So stop doing it. Stop giving yourself all of the friction. It's all you doing it to yourself. So stop doing it. Why would you want to put yourself through that amount of suffering and that amount of pain? Are you for real? Really? You would want to keep on doing that to yourself. Once you know this information, you would really want to keep on repeating, punishing yourself. Really? It doesn't seem right. So you got to think about this from the standpoint of you being that source broadcast. You're being that source broadcasting vibration that's coming out. Now, what's showing up in your life? What is showing up in your life, guys? That's what you've got to ask yourself. So what I want to do here quickly, guys, is I want to go out to Gregory Hinton. Gregory Hinton, just so you know, has been going through Millionaire Mentoring and training and coaching here, guys, for just over 2 months. He started from nothing, just like me, with $154, just like I did my marketing case study. 60 days later, he's making $6,000 in monthly residual income. He still works a full-time job. He's still working a full-time job as an IT professional. Gregory Hinton, are you there, sir? Gregory.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Absolutely. Greg, I want you just to, completely speak from your heart right now, pal, and tell us your story, brother. Tell us your story. What happened during this last 60 days? You're muted out, brother.
Wow. That's an excellent question. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead, bro. We can hear you.
Okay. Well, what happened for me in the past 60 days?
Something's wrong with your end.
Was revolutionize my whole life, man. I mean, after understanding, is it not
Bro,
coming in clear?
not you must be on a portable or something. We can't hear you at all. Okay, see if you can get on a land-based line. I got to go out to Noel right now. Noel,
No,
what?
I'm at.
Okay, so Noel, I want to just chat with you briefly here because I want to talk about the attractor factor right now. I want to give people an idea because you've just recently come on board. You've just entered into the Millionaire Mentoring Program. You've been following me on Facebook for quite some time now. What was the attractor factor? I want for you just to speak completely openly from your heart. This is complete vulnerability, guys. I'm telling you, I don't even know what he's going to say. So tell me, what is it? Why did you come on board? Why did you partner with me? And why did you join our team?
Well, Darren, one of the main factors is I definitely noticed and I felt that, having that connection, it's almost like we've been friends for a long time, where you feel comfortable and you definitely, the value that you share is pretty much a great experience. It's something that you can apply to your everyday life. They don't really teach that, as far as I know from previous companies I've been, they don't really teach that type of value. They kind of like make you turn into a salesperson per se. But I knew one thing and one thing only, that there was a value, something that is life changing, something that you can actually go through a breakthrough, break out of your comfort zone and do something that makes you feel uncomfortable. I know when you get out of your comfort zone and you start really to have this breakthrough to where you feel unstoppable, you feel like you're bulletproof, then you're able to do things that you thought that were impossible in the past. So that definitely really attracted me the most, the value that you provide, the leadership. It is a teaching, something that you can apply every day. So it definitely, I said, hey, I can't pass this up. It's a great opportunity to work with a great leader, a mentor, a coach. To be successful, you need a mentor. You need somebody who has results and knows how to get there. You can't just partner up with somebody who doesn't have the experience. But in this case, Darren, see one of the few leaders out there, you definitely provide that value. You put yourself out there, and you definitely you help people change lives. And I've been watching it happen even through Facebook. People's lives are actually changing. And that's with leadership, and that's with teaching and mentoring, and people going through breakthroughs. They're no longer scared to speak or to expose on how they really feel. It's just amazing. It's excitement.
That's awesome, brother. This is so great because I'm so glad that you have come on board with us and get finally a chance to take your life to the next level. Guys, I want to reach out here to Philip Rollins. Has such an amazing story here. Philip is such a great leader, and he's been in a situation here, guys, where he's now he's a mentor. He's broken through to another level in his own personal reality. Guys, this is what happens with mentorship. Now, I know that this particular broadcast might have been a little bit unconventional today, guys, but I want you to know this. This stuff that we teach, I'm telling you, it will completely, totally transform your reality where you never, ever have to worry about money again for the rest of your life. That I can personally guarantee you. If you learn this formula that I'm talking about, start dreaming big, baby, because you will never, ever have to worry about money again. Philip, I want for you to talk a little bit right now about, the shift that took place for you where you tapped so much into your personal power that you started to manifest and create duplication where you're packing rooms, where you're packing hangouts, where your reality is going to a completely different level, where all your dreams are coming true.
Right. I think what happened when we came back from Miami, I mean, like you even asked me one day, you like, Philip, what's changed, since we came back from Miami? And I told you that I finally like really surrendered my ego, right? I surrendered my ego and I just trust the process because I saw what was happening for a lot of people, that was actually going through the quantum physics, mind mastery training and things like that. And, I just saw that it was working for people, so I was like, I just got out of my own way, so to speak. And what has happened is just what you said. Now I'm mentoring and helping people reach goals in life that I never could imagine that I would be doing at this point of my life. And like it's just the way that you feel. It's a numb feeling. It's kind of one of those things that words can't describe it. And to take a lady that has no experience in the industry, I took a lady out of Colorado by the name of Oki, and I took her through the process that Darren taught me about pretty much, how to really get into a local market. And I did everything, and she was coachable. And first of all, she was teachable, and she got out of her way because she is a single mom. And what happened with her, she done everything that we asked her to do. And 5 days later, she already had made $1,000 in the business. In less than 24 hours, she already was at $400, right? And like Darren says, like by me just getting out of my way and like just really embracing the process totally, and like just totally selling out to this thing, right? Now my law of attraction has went up through the roof. I mean, now I'm attracting 17-year military guys now. I mean, guys that's in pilot school and things of that nature. And so what happened for me is now my frequencies, my as Darren says, my radio frequencies are so high right now. It doesn't matter who I talk to, Darren. Right now, I'm ready to rock and roll, brother.
Wow, that's so great, bro. I'm so proud of you. Guys, what I want to do here is I'm going to quickly share my screen, and I'm going to show you how I was able to take $154 and turn it into 150 grand. And it was with this particular company right here. We are what's called a category creator, guys. Nobody's ever seen this. We've got no competition. And I can tell you that when you've got no competition in the marketplace, you can literally change a life of anybody, guys, in 30 to 90 days. I can help anybody that goes through this mentoring program. Philip, I'm talking about Calais, I'm talking about Dodie Johnson. These are all people, guys, that are millionaire mentors now because they've gone through this training. You don't have to have $1 million in the bank to be a millionaire mentor. You do have to know the strategies. You do have to know how to do this stuff, right? And as people go through this, like Tony Cohen right now, I'm telling you what, the guy's literally started from a complete flat start and become a top recruiter in his very first month. Poof, right out of the gate. How does that happen, guys? It happens when you understand these principles. Now, here's what sets us apart. We have a program right now that deals with a whole ton of value. 24-hour doctor on call, dental savings. If your kids need braces, we save you about $2,500. Vision, holistic care, hearing, medical imaging, legal savings, identity theft protection, roadside assistance, automotive maintenance, and everyday savings. There are literally thousands and thousands of retailers, guys, from all over the world. McDonald's, Quiznos, Papa John's Pizza, Disneyland, Disney World, Budget Rental Car, Men's Warehouse. Guys, we save a family $9,000 per year. $9 grand, and this is a lifetime membership. So in the event that people want to be able to access into our Millionaire Mentoring and Training Program, this membership is $399 down, and they pay $99.95 per month for 23 months. Okay? So $399 down, $99.95 per month for 23 months, and then you own this membership for a lifetime. Now let's take a look at the opportunity. And I would encourage anybody to spend a little bit of time here, especially if you are a big thinker and if you're what you would consider to be a fairly influential person, a people person. Let's say that a person was only to recruit 6 people into our program. And let's say that their people didn't even do as good as them. They only recruited 4. And that went 3 levels down. Let's see what kind of money that you would make. $51,300, guys. Now that doesn't include our $250 one-time commissions. our fast start bonuses, our matching fast start bonuses, our leadership bonuses, and you can earn in unlimited depth potential. So there's not like 5 or 6 or even 10 levels you're going to get paid on. You're going to get paid on infinity levels. You could have 1,000 levels down in your organization. You're getting paid on all of them. So what if you were a little bit more of a go-getter? You were a little bit more of a person that really wanted to say, you know what? I know that everybody that I know could save, $9,000 a year. So what if you were to recruit, say, 25 people in 1 month, like what Paul Turner did? Now let's keep that number the same. Let's say that everybody else wasn't able to do that. They only did 4. They only need 4 families that could save $9,000 a year. What kind of income would you make? Let's take a look. $324,900. Guys, I will tell you this. There is not one single company in the marketplace, not one, that can compete with Explosial. Not one single company that provides as much value that we do, where we teach you how to become a world-class marketer, where we help your businesses to increase their sales by 30% or more. We hit both the what's called the corporate sector, where we help businesses to increase their sales. We have different promotional items and promotional vouchers like 2-for-1 cruises and 2-for-1 airfares that you can use to bring in more new business, more leads, more customers, and actually turn all of your customers into promoters. That's the corporate side. From a family side, from a consumer side, guys, we save an average family $9,000 a year. Do you think right now with the state of the economy that we are in high demand? You better believe we are. That's why we have so much attention right now. That's why there's so many top leaders that are coming on board with this company. I mean, how could you not want to? I mean, put it this way: the average family makes $3,000 to $5,000 a month, $3,000 to $5,000 a month, and with bringing in 6 people and them just bringing in 4 each, you're already making probably more than what you're making right now, $51,300. So what I will tell you is this: what makes us so unique and different is that you only need a small little tiny team, guys, of 88 people to make $100,000 a year. 88 people. Now I can tell you, if you find out from any other companies, you might need 10,000 or more to make $100,000 a year. That's what makes us so unique and different. This is what you call a category creator, guys. There's not a single company in the marketplace, not one, that can shake a stick at Explosial. Not one single company. Not one single company that provides the type of value that we do. And you can actually go through into the membership and type in a few questions to see how much money that you will save. How much money? How many people in your household? Right? You put the number in. Say that there's 6 people in the household. Boom. Okay, now you can start on to dental care. How many times do you want to go to the dentist? Well, let's see, we want to go twice per year with the checkups. Boom, let's check it out now. Now, let's see. Would you like it to have an up-to-date will to provide for the care of your loved ones? Yes. If you could consult a lawyer whenever you or your family member needed advice on a legal document, traffic, or the legal matter, how often would you each person go? Once per year, let's say. Okay, let's see what it is now. $10,658. Okay, savings on how many people in your household take prescription medication? Let's say that's only the parents. How many people in your household wear glasses or contacts? Let's say that there's 2. Okay, we're up to $11,498. Savings do you take per year? Let's say 2. How many cars or trucks do you have in your household? Well, let's say that they're all people over 16, so let's say that they're 6. How often do you buy a truck or a car? Let's say every 6 years. Okay, let's see now. Look at this, guys. I mean, this is next. Look at over 10 years, there's $153,860 savings. You think we might have a little bit of an opportunity here, especially with the state of the economy. So here's what I say. When you realize that we have a program that the worse the economy gets, the more money you're going to make. The worse the economy gets, the more money that you're going to make. Plus, simultaneously to that, you're going to learn the science of getting rich. You're going to learn the secrets to wealth creation. How I was able to go from completely nothing and, create an income in one single year of almost $4 million, guys. How could I, with $154, take that and turn that into a six-figure income in 30 days? Think about that. There's a specific formula here that we teach. There's a specific formula for doing this that we teach. What I want to do here is I want to go out into what I call into our corporate reality, our corporate sector. Let me just here go back to my screen and stop my screen share. Hold on. Okay. So I want to reach out to Dodie Johnson. Dodie Johnson, guys, has a very unique story. Dodie was a CEO, or a CFO rather, Chief Financial Officer. She was already, guys, making $100,000 a year already in her regular life. She went through our quantum physics mind mastery training. She went from 312 grand. She got a $212,000 raise at her corporate job, and she's paid as much as $5,200 for a single hour with her local Chamber of Commerce to now speak about personal development. Dodie Johnson, welcome to the call.
Thanks, Darren. I'm very grateful to be here. This has been an amazing journey for me. I never thought that sitting behind a desk and having other people do things for me that I would actually be the one that stood in front of a group of people, or that I would be on stage, or all the things that have happened to me in the last year have totally changed my life. And I'm so grateful to you for this program. I mean, my whole story from the very beginning. And I mean, I've had some very emotional times. I've gone through some serious breakthroughs with my family and my friends. I've had to block a lot of people, and it's just been an amazing journey for me, Wow. It's been incredible.
That's so great. That's so awesome. And every day that goes by, I mean, I just see you turning into a bigger and bigger and bigger leader, and more of a top recruiter, and providing more value to the marketplace. And this is literally, Dodie, this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is the tip of the iceberg. I want to go out quickly to Calais Beeman. Guys, here's an interesting story, because there's people from all walks of life that get involved in this industry. Calais is basically a Hollywood celebrity, bottom line. She's a broadcaster. She's a spokeslady. She's like the lady from Entertainment Tonight. She does commercials. She does movie stuff. She does her own directing of her own documentaries. She's the founder of Home Business Television, and she just wrote her own book after going through this training. Calais Beeman, welcome to the call.
Hey, Darren. Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
So, Calais, talk to us a little bit about, the transformation that happened for you going through this training, how it's transformed every single area of your life, and what's happening from where you were to where you are right now.
It's the journey has been incredible, and I've noticed, it's amazing the last couple of weeks that I'm having more and more breakthroughs faster and faster. And you talk about like the human condition earlier about self-love, worthiness, desirability, and boundaries, and now I'm finally kind of shifting over into the boundaries where before I would just I'd put up with a bunch of stuff from people or whatever in life, and now I'm quick to be like, no, I'm not accepting that for myself, or that kind of what have you. And that's something whether it's treatment or attitudes or whatever from things I used to put up with that would knock me down or just make me feel not good about myself. I've learned to step up and just be like, I'm not taking this anymore. And that's just another step that's just really happened again recently in terms of the overall, the evolution of my growth. But I've really changed a lot in terms of just my own mindset and understanding how my thoughts are creating my realities. And every day I'm more and more in tune and with how I'm feeling. Like earlier today, I was kind of just some kind of negative, self-talk. I guess kind of flooded my brain for a second, and I felt myself. I did a little Darren little. How do I feel? And I realized that I wasn't feeling, right. So I just stopped everything because I knew that if I continued to operate in that energy flow, that I would just be resisting. Because I just felt like I was operating in resistance, and then I just stopped and I let it all just kind of go. And then I feel like amazing now, and it's just those kinds of things you have to learn to do, because I could have easily just had the whole day, lost the whole day in this, negative energy thing that, I don't even know where it came from. So, that little voice that, just wants to pop in right when you're, on a roll or just wants to derail you. You've got to be really, 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 really cautious of it. And now I'm really I'm on it now. It's like when I hear that voice that tries to, talk me down, and I feel myself getting out of whack, I just stop. I'm like, there is no point in continuing what I'm doing until I get my, my vibe back and flow. And then, here I feel amazing now. With just, 2 hours before the hangout, I was kind of like, in a weird place. So all these trainings and teachings that we're learning are so powerful, because it's what you do every day that compounds and it adds up, and it's really exciting, especially when you start to get the hang of it. You start to know when things are on or off or whatever, and it's just it's really, really empowering. So thank you very, very much again for just all your. This has been an awesome hangout today, by the way, Darren. So I'm just even more fired up to hear you tonight.
Cool. That's so great, Clay. I'm so proud of you, guys. She's now the author of her own book. She's the creator of Home Business Television. She's now having days where, she's taken her recruiting levels from here to here, where now, she can consistently get on a call. And guys, here's the key. Asking the right questions. If you know what questions to ask a person, right, the polarity of your magnet turns around. Now, if you're like, have I got a deal for you, right, you get what's called pushback, right? I'm not interested. It's like going into a retail store. Can I help you, sir? I'm not interested. I'm just looking, right? That's called pushback. You will get that if you're pitching people on your company. Whatever company that you're in, doesn't matter. If you're pitching features and benefits, you will get pushback. When you turn the polarity of the magnet around, and I'm focusing on the person and how I can help them, right, solve a problem or help them to get to their goal, whatever that situation is, whatever it is that they want, how would I ever know what a person wants, guys, unless I have a conversation? How would I ever know what their desire is, what their passion for 2014, unless I know what questions to ask them to connect them to their dream? That's my goal as a recruiter. If I can connect you to your dream and find out how passionate that you are about it and how much money it's going to take for you to get it, and what's been the blocker so far for most people, it's cash flow. Why aren't you living the type of dream that you want, right? Because you're paying your bills, right? You can't do anything else but do the mundane and pay your bills, right? So you're stuck in the treadmill, right? You got to pay the mortgage, got to pay the car payment, got to pay the insurance, right? So once you realize that this is way easier than you think, guys, the thing that you will have to overcome is you will have to overcome your fear, right? You will have to get control of this, of what's going on in here, right? And listen to your self-talk. Listen to what's going on in your brain, that chatter. Is it supporting your preferred state, or is it suppressing you and pushing you down, right? Is it lifting you up and telling you how great you are and that you're an amazing leader and you're a superstar, or is it pushing you down and suppressing you on your life path? Guys, I want to go out here really quickly to the real Tony. The real Tony. The real Tony, come on down, my friend. How are you? You're on mute, my friend. You there? Yeah, go ahead. Tony, just share with us, I know that we've been working together here for quite a short period of time. It's only been like maybe 3 weeks or so. Tell us a little bit about, your experience with Millionaire Mentoring, some of the shifts that have happened for you in your own personal life path in only 3 weeks, and what's happened with your recruiting and with your duplication.
Yeah, I've been through, before I got here, and we've been speaking maybe for 2 years, and never once have you pitched me on anything. But it got to the point where I was in another business, and I was telling my people to follow you on Facebook because your stuff was just so connected. And then I started following your path as far as your, not copying and pasting, but getting the general gist of it and stopping pitching. Then I got into this business, as you know, in a bit of a situation, but literally, without using terminology, I needed a fresh mentor, because the one I had at the previous place was a traditional network marketing guy, the annoying guy in the room that everyone avoids, and I thought that was how it was done. So basically, I started out really well in another business and never duplicated it. Then into this one, I found it's a lot simpler when we simplify it. So my own personal shifts, there's been a couple of things. The connecting, I'm finding a lot harder. I've really learned to connect with people on Facebook innocuously, with no ulterior motive in mind. Just reaching out, connecting, creating rapport, chatting away with them, feeling out where they're at in their life. And if they're at a good place in their life, I leave it at that, and I just say, hey, keep in touch. If I feel there's a place where they may not be happy, I kind of feel it out a little bit more. And without trying to direct it, in sincere conversation with them, what I'm finding is people will generally unburden and tell you what's on their mind. And at that point, it to a percentage of them direct to business. But again, I don't push it. I just let it flow. And I literally as you know, every day or two, I'm on the phone with you, picking your brains for the next little bit of the jigsaw, the next little bit of the jigsaw, the next little bit. Okay, I've got this today. It's been a couple of days where I've just gone absolutely nuts on my messenger, and today I just followed another example. I post a lot on Facebook, so all the likes, all the comments, I just send a simple 2 or 3 word message, just, how's things, rockstar, and just leave it. And 60–70% will just answer that question. And from there, next question is, what's new? And I just let it go. But I find when I really step up my connecting, or something resonated you said earlier on, 25 connections a day, I've lost track today. That World Cup did come at the wrong time for me, I've got to tell you that. But today, at 12 o'clock, I just went to the coffee shop, had lunch, got on it, and just went for it. And 7 hours later, they're locking up the coffee shop, and I'm somewhere around 60 or 70 conversations, just conversations. But out of that, 10% actually turned around to me and said, what is all this stuff you do? And I keep seeing on Facebook, what have you got going on? You seem like you've got something really good going on. And at that point, again, I don't push it. I just chat a bit longer. And there's somewhere I will say, yeah, we just send videos out, and people watch the videos, and a percentage of people just want to join because the video is that great. Really? Have you got a video? Yeah, somewhere. Hang on. Let me get it to you. And that's it. Exactly. So it was all about the connecting. So I want to thank you again.
Absolutely. Fantastic. Guys, I want to reach out for one last little communique here, because I want for you guys to realize the power of one single coaching call. A lot of people don't realize what one single coaching call can do to shift a person's mindset, to get them to look at their reality differently, to shift their entire path. I want to just reach out to Matthew really quickly. Matthew, are you there?
Yep, I am.
Okay. Matthew, I want you just to share from your heart here, because we had an opportunity back probably, I don't know, 3.5 weeks ago or so. You reached out and you said, Darren, I'm really interested in the Millionaire Mentoring path. Can you help me? Do you have a mentoring program? Can we look to do a coaching call? We spent one evening on the Skype together, and I want you just to share some of the insights, some of the shifts that happened for you. I know that you're on a brand new path right now. Talk to the people here that are on the line here, just from your heart, just straight up. And guys, this is complete vulnerability because he might tell me that my coaching was terrible. But share us a little bit, with what your experience was and what got you to join our team.
Well, I think I reached out to you because you're not like a lot of other people where I've been mentored by great people in business, and it's always been about ego and just, I don't know, a lot of sneaky tactics and dominance, and and I don't see that in you at all, and that's something that really connects with me. And I've been on the self-development path for a long time, but through all the challenges I've had, I'm still coming out of a couple like antidepressants, or the last drug that I'm on, and it by far is the hardest challenge. And that was part of the reason I reached out to you as well. And because of network marketing, for sure. I love it. It fits right in with my values, and you fit right in with my values, that's for sure. I don't know, just watching your posts on Facebook, I think, I was sort of reaching out to all these network marketing people, and they were pitching, and one of them, sold me into all this stuff, and I paid, thousands and thousands for it, and he promised me the world, and then he didn't even answer my messages for 2 weeks, and so, I guess I was a little, I was a little hurt and didn't know where to go or who to trust. But once I made that connection with you after watching your posts for a while, it's like coming home. And that hour that we did together, when I was feeling really horrible from the antidepressants, you sort of just touched me in a godlike way of energy, and really, oh man, I've been on this journey for a while, but you really touched a chord that day, because you made me really realize that I'm still self-sabotaging, still self-sabotaging myself. After all, I mean, I've got a really successful plumbing company, but I'm still sabotaging that plumbing company, with my thoughts, and you just really opened my eyes to that. And that's why I trust you. I trust you, and it's a massive quality that I really appreciate. And yeah, I guess that's it. I'm still building my energy levels, talking to people that I don't know, and
Sure.
But yeah.
Well, that's great, man. It's all about those little stepping stones. And guys, here's what I want you to understand here, okay? And this is a great example. We are, as human beings, we're all the same. Okay, we're all the same. We all really want to have a nice house, a nice car, nice clothes. We all want, good health and wellness. We all want, good connection with, communication with family and friends, right? We all want to feel loved. We all want to feel needed, right? We all want adventure and spontaneity and travel and exciting things to have that, be able to see the world and whatnot. But and down to it, guys, we all want to have what I call a spiritual connection. We're all connected. We're like these mirrors, these reflectors for one another, right? That help us to look within, right? To help us to look within. But here's what I will tell you: when you start to peel back the layers of the onion, what you will realize is that we all truly want to give back, make a difference, and leave behind a legacy. That's really a human being. Now, what I will tell you about this type of a business model is that the more that you can feel safe being vulnerable, the more that you will step into your power. Now, there's a lot of people that will tell you that there is power in vulnerability. And it's very, very interesting that the more that you become okay with opening up and being vulnerable, and being even in situations, guys, where you might be on stage and you might even get emotional. And when you realize about how much support comes in and how much encouragement and how much you actually get lifted up to go through that breakthrough, it's amazing what can happen on that life path. So, guys, here's what I will tell you. We are getting ready right now to go to a completely different level on this journey with Explosial. You know, we've done the test market now. The test market stage is now over, and we're now we're doubling up the commissions. Okay, so you think phase 1 in test marketing has been like off the chain, where we've got people in their mid-20s that are making 6 figures a year, guys, right? People in their mid-20s. I'm talking 25-year-old people that are making 6 figures a year. People that used to be making 3 a week at their job that are now making 10 grand a month at their job. People that had no possible way of any hope to get any type of job, guys, right? Because of the situations that they had happen in their past, are now $10,000 monthly residual income earners. Are you for real? That's what's happening right now. Now, when you couple that type of opportunity with millionaire mentoring, training, and coaching, guys, I'm telling you what, we're talking about opening up a frontier to a brand new reality. Now you can start to really dream again. Now you can start to think about the possibility for 7 figures, because that's where we're headed, guys. And you could be part of that journey with us. You could be one of the ones that becomes the ripple in your community. You could be one of the ones that becomes the ripple in your church. You could be the ripple in your family. And I'll tell you what, when you go through this training and you realize that you can really start dreaming again, it's safe for you to start dreaming again. Do you want a different house? I mean, if you were making $25,000 a month, would you be driving the same car or a different car? Right? Would you be traveling? Would you be traveling to some cool exotic places like maybe Bora Bora or Tahiti, or maybe to Europe or to the Orient? Would you start to see the world? Maybe you want to be a person that has a college fund, or you start to make a difference in your community, or you donate money to your church. Those are all possibilities, guys. You can do whatever you want, right? We have a gateway here. We have a vehicle that can help you get it. So, guys, we've gone a little bit over time here, but I want to say that it's been a great pleasure and treat to spend this time with you today. And reach out to the person that invited you to this particular broadcast and say, you know what, I'm ready. I'm ready to take my life to the next level. I've drawn a line in the sand. I know I'm worthy of $10,000 higher. This is the vehicle that can help you get it in 30 days. I've already done it, guys, as a marketing case study. And I've got students following right behind me in suit. They're all doing it too, doing it on a part-time basis, guys. Part-time. People that are going full-time in 90 days. It's happening right now. You could be the next person. You could be the next success story. So get back to the person that invited you to this particular project and take action, guys, right? And here's what I will tell you. We have live events that are happening all over the country. All you've got to do is log on to our corporate website, click on our events button, see where we're going to be showing up. This next weekend, guys, we're going to be in Beltsville, Maryland. All the top income earners are going to be there, and you could literally fast-track your career by 6 to 8 months by getting to that event this coming Saturday in Beltsville, Maryland. So get back to the person that invited you to this particular call. My name's Darren Little with Rose, and I look forward to meeting you in person one day, and I look forward to seeing you at the top. Bye for now.